Bonjour. In this lesson, we're going to look at the conjugation of the third group, the RE verbs, in affirmative and negative senses. And we're also going to look at how to do yes and no questions with a subject noun. First of all, the conjugation of RE verbs. Here's a model, the verb vendre, to sell. And again, there is my ending right here, and here is the stem, which is whatever is left when I remove the ending. Here is the stem throughout, and here are the endings. You notice something for this particular conjugation? That's you do not add anything for the third person, he, she cases. Je vends, tu vends, il vend, elle vend, nous vendons, vous vendez, ils vendent, elles vendent. Okay, certain things that you notice. Whether you have the S or not, the pronunciation is the same. Vend, vend. Now you hear the difference now between vendons and vende, just like you hear the difference between vend and vende. Now, if we have an affirmative statement, for instance, I have used the verb voir here, to see. So, je vois, I see. Tu dors, you sleep. If I had the negations, ne pas, I will get je ne vois pas, I do not see. Tu ne dors pas, you do not sleep. Okay? Here I have given you the infinitive of four verbs, dormir, voir, mettre, and partir, which you need to study, and they are explained in much more detail in the text files that go along with this lesson. Now, as concerns the yes and no questions, this time with a subject noun. In this sentence, I have a subject noun. Again, I can express the senses two ways. I can either use the est-ce que, remember that big question mark that tells you you're asking a question, which is always followed by the subject and followed by the verb, or we know also that there's another way of asking these questions in French, which is using an inversion. Except when your subject is a noun, you have to be very careful, because the construction in French is completely different from the constructions you're used to in English. If you're using a subject noun, the subject noun must be in front of the verb. If the subject noun is in front of the verb, then you cannot have an inversion, because the only way you can have an inversion is the verb being in front of the subject. So in order to create an inversion, you have to add, after the verb form, a subject pronoun which has the same gender and number as the subject noun. Paul is masculine singular, therefore I have used the form il, he, because it is also masculine singular. And by doing this, I have here a verb followed by a subject pronoun, therefore I have an inversion. Because again, here I have a vowel and finishing the verb conjugation and a vowel beginning the subject pronoun, I have added a T to help with pronunciation. Okay? So again, either you use the construction est-ce que plus a subject noun plus a verb, or if you do not use est-ce que, use the subject noun in front of the verb and use after the verb the subject pronoun that has the same gender and number as the subject noun. Whether I say est-ce que Paul mange or Paul mange-t-il, I'm saying exactly the same thing. I'm saying does Paul eat? Okay? I don't want you to think that by saying this here I'm saying Paul, comma, does he eat? You're not saying this in English. In English you're saying does Paul eat? It's just a different French construction. Whatever the question is, or the one that you've selected, if you want, you can answer it by saying oui, Paul mange, yes, Paul eats, or oui, il mange, yes, he eats, or non, Paul ne mange pas, Paul does not eat, or non, il ne mange pas, no, he does not eat.